that day, they got all upset. We didn't get it free. Okay, I just go ahead and call us to order tonight. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm Adam Eichelberger, and first thing we do, part of our meeting, is the invocation led by Kinley Fernandez. Please stand.
Okay. Dear God, we came before you with great gratitude for the gift of this day and the opportunity to gather service of our school community. We thank you for the leaders, teachers, staff, and board members who dedicate their time and energy to making our school a place of learning, growth, and support. We pray for the wisdom of their open hearts as decisions are made that will shape the future of our students and our district. Help us listen to one another with respect, with kindness, and work together for the good of all. Bless our students with curiosity, courage, and compassion, and may this meeting reflect our shared commitment to excellence. In conclusion, we hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Kinley. It's a great prayer. So now we'll have Jay Reynolds lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take your seats. First item on the agenda is the affirmation of today's agenda.
Make a motion to approve as printed.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Second objective is to approval of the previous minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from July 15th as written.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any board comments today?
No, sir, no comments. I'm sorry.
Board? Yeah. Any board?
We're glad to see everybody.
Yeah.
Nice crowd.
And we did not have anyone sign up for public comments today, so I turn it over now to Dr. Taylor, and we're going to move forward with some recognitions.
Thank you, Dr. Eichelberger, and welcome. We are very excited about starting our school year. We have had a very successful first few weeks, days, and very thankful for that. And we're thankful to have our children back, and they have done an outstanding job. So we appreciate our children and very thankful for our teachers. So at this time, we're going to recognize one of our teachers. Mr. Shumpert, would you like to come forward?
This award tonight, this goes to a guy who's a jack of many trades. He does all kind of things at the school, from coaching soccer to coaching band to girls basketball to all different kind of things that he does. Anytime you need his help, he does a great job, and always, everything's done excellent. There's no way that I could probably describe this award for him tonight, so I'm going to just have to read it. And this is from Mr. Rick Langdale. He is the chairman of the South Carolina Band Association of Band Directors. It says, the South Carolina Band Directors Association Outstanding Performance Award is the highest possible award given to a band program in the state of South Carolina. The points are accumulated through participation and ratings earned at the following state-sponsored performance events: All-State Region Band, Concert Performance Assessment, Solo, and Ensemble Festival. It is with great pleasure to inform you that Edgewood Middle School has earned the points necessary to receive the SCBDA Outstanding Performance Award for the 24-25 school year. This outstanding marching, concert, and individual student performances are a testament to the high-quality teaching that takes place in the band department at your school. Congratulations on this wonderful achievement. Mr. Bagwell.
Congratulations, Mr. Bagwell. Also tonight, we're gonna recognize the 96 Elementary Beta Club, and with us, we have Becky Rush, Miss Rush, we have Chandler Wells, Miss Wells, and then we have Miss Loudon, and we're excited to hear about it.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Wells, this is Miss Rush. We had the opportunity to take a great group of kids to our state convention, even though it did get snowed out at the beach. I don't know how often that happens, but we did not get to attend the state convention, but we had a lot of winners that still got to compete. Our students placed top 10 in book battle. They placed top 10 in the quiz bowl. We had a student, Wells Winchester, he placed top 5 in color photography. Allie Hill placed top 5 in on-site cake decorating. Gracie Gail Taylor placed top 5 in on-site painting. Zeb Rush placed top 5 in the state for recyclable art. Aiden Sims placed top 5 in the state for 5th grade social studies. Harper Lewandowski placed top 5 for 4th grade ELA. And Kinley Fernandez placed top 5 in her variety show, which she did magic. Ms. Rush would also like to present our national winners.
So these students were taken to Orlando to participate in the nationals for Beta Club, and Zeb ended up placing 6th place for recyclable art. Harper ended up placing 3rd in the nation for 4th grade ELA. Who's over there? Aiden was 7th place for 5th grade social studies, and then Kinley placed 6th for her variety act. And Kinley had to perform her magic show in front of thousands of people. So we are very proud of that. And all of these students, as you can see, have their lanyards with pins on, and obviously that was a huge hit for the students. They were able to trade pins with students from all over the nation, and I think that was probably the highlight of the trip for them. But we're very, very proud of them.
Congratulations, guys.
Good job, guys.
Congratulations, guys. Awesome.
You taking one more?
I was one more. I couldn't get my granddaughter tonight. That's my crazy reason. Very good. Thank
Congratulations. Congratulations to Miss Loudon and Miss Wells and Miss Rush. That's outstanding, and to all of our students. We thank you for representing 96 school district. We appreciate that. At this time, Mr. Schofield is here to share a little bit about attendance. We have a flyer at your desk that you can follow along with him. Thank you, Mr. Schofield.
Sure. Not as great as accomplishments, I'm gonna talk about attendance.
All right, hold on one second.
Well,
Just- We understand that some of the younger people do head out at this time. It's not necessary if y'all want to stay, but you can. I didn't want anybody to feel like they needed to be here. So we really proud of all of y'all, and y'all did a great job. Not you. No one up here.
Sorry, Mr. Schofield.
I mean, it hurts my heart just a little bit. I stand up here and everybody leaves, so that's okay. So, with this flyer that Mr. Graves created for me, I want to talk to you a little bit about it. So first I want to give you some good news. When Dr. Taylor came on board here 3 years ago, she talked to the principals at the time, and she asked us what our number one concern was in the district, and it was student attendance. All 4 of us, I believe, said the exact same thing: student attendance. From COVID, recovering, getting students back to school, staying in school, that was a major problem we had. So for 3 years, we have done a lot of things to try and get everybody to come back to school. We've eliminated a lot of the virtual things that we did. We needed kids in the building. They needed to be here. They need to be here all day, every day. We, for students that were missing too many days, we had times that we were making up that time during intercession or during summer school so that we were not having to hold kids back, because attendance, it's a state law. Like, they have to come a certain number of days or they have to be held back. That is not anything that there's no workaround for that. That's not something that we could get around doing. So we're on to phase 2 of our attendance, and phase 2 is, now that we're having the majority of our kids that are coming with the allotment of days, and they're bringing the excuses if they're out for medical reasons or whatever. Now it's about eliminating the tardies and the early dismissals. We have noticed a trend that we've got quite a few families that they're just signing kids out. And whenever I say signing kids out, this is not we get out of school at 3 o'clock, we're signing them out at 2:55. This is we get out at 3 o'clock, we're signing them out at 12:40. Or we're tardy. We are not getting up to get to school on time, and we're missing school, and we're not getting in until 9:15. Well, if you don't get into 9:15 every day, then you miss a class. So if you have English first period, you miss English every day. And you cannot make up that time that you have with the teacher in the classroom. Doesn't matter how much work they give you or that we try to do with the intercessions or summer school. We need them here all day, every day. So we've had a series of meetings with, starting with Ms. Loudon last year before she retired, who was over the attendance for the district, with all of the principals, with the counselors, to get to a workaround for something that we could do consistent as a district to put out there for how we're going to push this out and how we're going to talk about how important this is. So we created this flyer from our conversations. And it says 4K through 8th grade, and the reason it says 4K through 8th grade before I start is because the high school already has their own policy. And the high school has their policy because seat time is important, where if they don't meet the seat time, they're not going to get credit for the class anyway. And so they've already got something that they've got in place at the high school. So we're talking about our 4-year-olds through our 8th grade students. Starting August 25th, we picked a date 2 weeks into the future to give some people some time to adjust. Starting August 25th, students in 4K through 8th grade are going to be allowed a combined 5 unlawful early dismissals and tardies per semester before schools administer consequences for missed time. Now, that's unlawful. If I have to take my child for a dentist appointment and I try to make it as early as I can, and then, of course they don't open until 8:30, I get them into the dentist and I get them straight to school and I come with a medical excuse. That is a lawful tardy. So we're not talking about those. We're talking about, I can't get out of bed. We're talking about when I was in Clinton. Y'all know the train caught me. The train caught me, okay? Those are the kind of things that we're talking about. Or we hear this, believe it or not, my 3-year-old, my 3rd grader is sick. So I'm coming to the middle school. I had to pick up my 3rd grader, and so I'm coming to the middle school to pick up my 6th grader because I don't want to come to 96 twice today. Okay, that's unlawful. You don't get the sick absence. Maybe the 3rd grader gets the lawful absence because they had to go home sick, but the 6th grader does not. And so once they get to 5 combined of the early dismissals and the tardies, schools have a little bit of leeway for the consequences that they're going to give. And the consequences are more fair towards what the age of the student is. We're not putting 4-year-olds in ISS. Okay, but 4-year-olds may have to miss some recess for some time, where they may have to go in with their teacher and get a little bit extra time and a little bit extra help. We don't want any kids to miss recess. We don't want them to be in lunch detention. We don't want them to have to go to after-school detention or ISS. But the simple fact is that we are having to put this out as a district to be consistent across all the grade levels, to really put the hammer down and say, they need to be in our buildings from the time the bell rings to start the day to the time the bell rings to it finishes the day. If you want to go out of town early one weekend, you can. Again, you get 5 per semester. And then whenever the Christmas hits and we get to 2nd semester, that will start back over, and we'll start back with 5 more at that point to try and get them. You think that's a lot. We have students in this district that are, if we were to add up tardies and dismissals, 30, 40, 50 a year. We're trying to eliminate these things to get them here and keep them here. They may come every day, but again, if you miss English every day, first period, it's just like the same as not being here at all. So this is going to be pushed out to our district. Mr. Graves is going to push that out on all of our social media accounts, and we're going to do email blasts. It's going to be put in Dojo. We're going to push this out as much as we can. Today is the 12th of August, so they have 2 weeks to get used to this before we start this process then. But I'm here to answer any questions that you guys may have.
Were there any consequences prior?
Different schools had different things, and so this was a way to streamline it so that we have all three of the lower schools doing the same things. So yes, primary may have been doing one thing, elementary may have been doing something, middle may have been doing something, but when we talked, we thought that it was important for the district to do the same thing, that this come from the district office instead of each individual school, so that we can be unified in our message to all of our families. That, again, at the top, attendance matters. We need you here. The only way we can educate you is if you're here. So you need to be here, and you need to be here all day long. So that was a good question. Anything else?
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Schofield, we
Thank you.
appreciate it. All right, in your package, there are field trips and professional league requests, fundraising requests. There is not any overnight, but if you have any questions about those that are in there, I'll be glad to try to address those, but we do not have to vote on anything. Any questions or concerns? Good. All right, and then we have our parenting report on page 34. Any questions concerning the parenting report?
Ms. Trotsey's gonna be busy.
Roxy's gonna be busy. All right, well, thank you, and then at this time, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Dr. Eichelberger.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Now, on to our finance report. Mr. Andrew.
Hey everyone, it's good to see you guys again. This meeting is probably the easiest meeting for me because July is a pretty, I wouldn't say a slow month, but it's the quietest month from a finance perspective. As of July 31st, our revenue is about $482,000. Our expenses are about $443,000. Really, the only expense we've had to this point are payroll for probably the people in this room, plus our maintenance guys, and then all of our subscription softwares that we get every year, a month of our cleaning bill, a month of our landscaping bill, and then some purchases to get the school started. So July is usually a pretty quiet month for us on the finance side. Nothing unusual to this point, nothing out of the ordinary, pretty much everything we have budgeted for already. So really no concerns on the finance side. It's also been quiet on the capital projects side. I'll jump into that as well. We've ordered our classroom furniture. We're waiting for delivery dates to determine when we'll install it. And then we haven't done much on any of the other projects we've got out there yet, and that's mainly because anytime you issue a bond for capital projects, that money has to stay at the county. So between really June, July, August, you gotta work with the county to make sure the money that we think we have held at the county matches what they say we have. So you don't wanna spend too much of that and screw up where you think you have more than you actually have. So once we get that sort of ironed out through August, we'll start moving forward on some of these projects in September. So, are there any questions on monthly financials or capital projects?
So, I recall this in a previous meeting that we had discussed some concerns that were voiced regarding the amount of our students getting wet coming from the senior parking lot.
Yeah.
And obviously this past month, we've had a lot of rain, and I've observed students probably getting rained on.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where that went to, or what our plan is for that, or if they could still enter through that side door, or what. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think they all enter through the front door, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we would just have to.
is it our obligation to provide them with dry way to enter the building, or are there any alternatives? Some of these mornings we've had torrential downpours, and I'm sure some kids have come in saturated. And but I just remember we talked about it, and we, you know, so I just didn't know if there were any updates with that, or there had been any movement on any of that.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely get a quote. We haven't gotten an official quote on it yet. I know the one we put out at the elementary school, I can't remember how long that was, but that was about $45,000. So from the senior parking lot to the front of the building is probably double that at least, I would think,
We
from
can
what we put up at
prioritize
that
it.
millage. Yeah.
Okay.
We did give umbrellas out at the beginning of the year, and people think that because we gave out umbrellas, we created this rain situation. And so, it's like to use them, but I think it's one of those, it's on our list to do, but we can prioritize that and change it. We can put that at the beginning of the list.
I'm just
Because you're
curious.
right, they're coming to school wet. They're
Yeah.
coming in wet.
All right, if there's nothing else. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. So, safety report, Mr. Mack.
Welcome back, everybody. In your packets, you should have the safety report for July. Primary school had 0. It says information there, but that was an error on my part. I apologize for that, but they did have 0. Elementary had 0. Middle school had 3, a fire alarm, a property check, and a drug investigation. High school had 1 with a fire alarm, alternative fire alarm, but that's high school as well. It's kind of all 3 of them are in the same building. Transportation 0, the Sam Corley Field 0, multiplex is 0, district office 0 as well. It gives you 5 for the month, which is up 1 from 4 last month, and, or excuse me, that's up from 4 in May. What I mean. That should be May there. And then down 5 from 10 this time last year. Complex, the high school, middle school conducted their fire drill on the 28th, right after school got started. Fire inspections for all the schools was conducted on the 22nd. Of course, there's no tornado drills, earthquake, bus evacs. Did do with bus evac, but that's for next month. Active intruder drills, none. It's also for next month. EMS did do a weapons detection at their car line on the 30th. And that was from 7:30 to 8:15 in the morning. They scanned 231 students and 6 staff members with no prohibited items were found. On Thursday, July 17th, 1:30 p.m., teachers and staff received their annual CRACE training from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, or SLED. This annual training is a mandate by the state of South Carolina to ensure all staff members or all members of the school staff gain knowledge on what to do in an active intruder event, whether the event occurs on or off campus. And that's it. Any questions? All right, thank y'all.
Thank you very much. So now we move forward with policies. Ms. Kathy?
Thank you, sir. All right, good evening. We'll be short and sweet tonight because we don't have any policies yet from the South Carolina School Boards Association. But I'm hearing by the last week in August, which is coming upon us, that those will be in our hands. So once I get those, we'll put together a schedule and get that rolling out to you for approval, and then start bringing policies as we normally do. All right, so the policy that we have tonight is policy BE, and it deals with the board meetings. It was brought to our attention that we needed to change the location of the meeting in the policy, and that has been done in the 3rd section underneath regular board meetings to building 300 at the multiplex in the professional development room. So I'm asking for a motion to approve that policy, please.
I make a motion that we approve the regular board meetings, building from 300, or to 300 multiplex building.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, so I'll send this in to the, School Boards Association tomorrow and get it posted into our manual, online manual. And then I have tonight before you the outside organization, forms that are required by South Carolina Code 5917-170 that states each booster club, PTO in the school district must annually register with its school district board of trustees no later than August the 1st, and we're a little bit behind on that, but we couldn't quite get it together because we had to elect some PTO folks at both schools, which I think we've got that rectified next year, so it'll flow into our July meeting instead. All right, so this is broken down on the page 60 of your packet. You see the primary school PTO, you see the president, and you see the treasurer listed. If it says yes beside their name, that means they have access to checking and can write checks out of the account. And the law requires those folks to be sled checked, and those have been checked. So that's an example of what that looks like. The PTO at the primary school provided us on pages 61 and 62 and 63 a plan for how they were gonna spend their money and the types of fundraisers that they were gonna do for the upcoming school year. So that kind of gives you an idea of what their income looks like and what their plans will look like going forward and what they spent. We appreciate them doing that. On the end of page 63, it shows their starting budget for the year. Okay? So as we move through 96 Elementary, begins on page 64. You'll notice you have the president, you have the secretary treasurer, and you have the vice president. One person has access to checking to write the checks. That person has been sled checked in accordance with law. Then Ms. Loudon and the PTO there provided you with a kind of a plan for what they want to do this year too in terms of fundraising. And Ms. Loudon took it a little bit step further and showed you the beginning balance on page 66 and all of the actual expenditures and the checks and what they were written for. And then page 67 is a very detailed report of the finances of the PTO there. And page 68. So we appreciate Ms. Loudon providing us with that information. The middle school and the high school do not have a PTO organization. So they don't have that to deal with. But the high school has the band booster club and the athletic booster club that fit this this policy and this rule that we have here. So on page 69 is the form for the high school band booster club. You'll see the current band director, you see the bookkeeper, the treasurer, everybody that has a yes beside their name has access to a checkbook and had to be sled checked, and they have been checked in accordance with the regulation. And then on page 70, the booster club provided us with their balance and some very detailed information about how they plan to earn money for next year and some projects that they want to embark on, is how they want to spend that money on page 70. Then page 71, you come to the Athletic Booster Club. You have your officers listed there. The folks with the yes beside them were sled checked and have passed those requirements. And then you have on page 72 their beginning balance and some of the projects that they intend to work on for the school year and the focus that they'll be taking as well. And I would direct any questions that you have about any of that information to the organization that provided it. Our job at our level is to collect the information, get it together, and then you as a board have that knowledge, I guess is the best way to put it, and to make sure that they're sled checked. So that's all I have for the outside organizations. Would you like for me to move on into personnel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sorry.
All right, we still have our two positions that are open at the middle school, one at the middle and one at the high, with no leads on that thus far. We thought a couple weeks ago we had a lead, but it didn't work out. We had someone from Lander that was potentially looking to come this way. So those jobs are still out there. We lost a bus driver in the last week to Michelle Thompson. We lost her to Abbeville. She wanted to move closer to home to drive. And so we advertised for a bus driver, a 3-hour bus driver position. We have someone that we are in the process of finalizing and will be ready to go by Monday. So next meeting, after that's all finalized, I'll be able to tell you who that person is. And that's really all I have on the personnel side for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
So, board members, we do need to sit around just for a second after this is over, just for one picture, I believe. But anybody else have any comments or anything that we need to move forward with? If not, we get a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
See y'all next month.
Well done.
We'll get that information tomorrow. That's what I think we probably email them that right now to our guys. And let's see what it, we had
Great job right there.
Oh, yeah, no, it's incredible.
yeah, those kids are.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to not have an elementary school.
Right, no, I know.
So